Clifton, a couple of years ago we saw you in Pacific Rim. Is it cool to just be in a film that's got monsters fighting robots and you get all this cool terminology as well?
What kind of question is that? Of course it's cool. Fucking robots. It's Guillermo del Toro. Hell yeah, it's cool. It's a childhood dream.
Were you a bit annoyed that you didn't get to go in a Jaeger though?
No, because I designed the Jaegers. So believe me, I've got a past history tearing some shit up in the Jaegers. And you never know, the sequel could have me doing a dance in the Jaeger.
Well, that was my next question about the sequel. Starts filming in November. What can you tell us about it?
That's the word on the street. You're just gonna have to see for yourself.
Come on, give us a little tidbit.
I can't because I don't know. How's that?
Okay, that's fair enough. Well, obviously in Pacific Rim, your co-star Idris Elba. He's British, you're here in England. What's he like to work with?
He's awesome. I had fun hanging with Idris. He's a dedicated, committed actor. He's charismatic, well studied. The whole cast is a blast. It was maybe it's just because I'm getting older, I don't know, or maybe it's just Guillermo del Toro, but it's like we all knew each other. It's a big giant family, a lot of fun. We were sorry to see Max Martini go, you know.
And obviously, talking of Idris, there's rumours of him being the next James Bond. Good choice?
I think it's an awesome choice. I'd love to see Idris be James Bond.
He's the action man, isn't he?
Mandela's a pretty actiony film, yeah.
Moving away from that, you were in Star Trek a few years ago. What's it like working with J.J. Abrams?
I worked with J.J. first in Alias. Him and his writers, they wrote a character based off the Frankie Flowers role in Traffic. So that was my first experience with him. He's a humble film lover. He's just a blast to work with. I can't say enough things about this guy. I mean, he's one of the guys you always want to be able to work with. And coincidentally, I'll be starting Westworld next week, which he's producing. So keeping it in the family.
Were you a Trekkie beforehand?
None of us were, but that we still all grew up with it. You still knew the song. It was still nostalgic. And then obviously when we saw the film, we were all like, I mean, you know, you get a techie heart on, you know. It's like, it's amazing. It's the ride.
He's now doing Star Wars.
He is?
That's the word on the street. The small film Star Wars. I don't know if anybody knows it. Yeah. Any word on you turning up in it?
Not that I've heard of.
You've just finished rapping on Weightless.
Yes, that's the name now. Well, I didn't just finish. I finished that a while ago.
Which is the new Terrence Malick film.
Terrence.
Tell us about Terrence Malick.
He's a god. I've done 2 movies with Terrence. That last film, a lot of us did it for like scale, and I was doing a TV show and I asked with like the most passion any one actor can muster up to please be written out of an episode, and they were like, well, we can't pay you for that episode because I don't care. So I lost a good chunk of money to make very little money, and I was the happiest I could have ever been. I even paid for my own ticket. And I was just as happy as a clam in high tide. It's Terrence fucking Malick, man. I can't tell you how much fun. And it put me with Benicio del Toro again, and Fassbender, Natalie Portman. It was so much fun. I can't wait to see Weightless. And working with Terry is like, I feel like I know 3 different directors in one human being, like 3 very distinct ways of directing, and I bet he's got more. But he's such a whimsical, hungry, childlike creative spirit. It is so fascinating and beautiful and precious. I only pray I get to do at least one more. I'd do as many as he'd let me. I'd love to work with him again. He's iconic. I mean, Badlands, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Yeah. I mean, I get starstruck just hanging out with him.
He's kind of a visionary director. He's he is a visionary director. He's got his own style. So how is he directing day to day for somebody like yourself?
I mean, he changes, and I love to adapt to the directors. I don't have like my way of doing things. I might have a way I start off, but certain directors, with the brilliance of Terry, you just adapt and move because he adapts and moves. You know, one day you could be doing a scene that's got like no cognitive through line, and that's a different Terry. And the next day you could be doing a whole improvised scene, and that's another Terry. And then another day he might just shoot little things at you, and that's another Terry. Like, I'm like, it's the same guy, but just different techniques. It's fascinating.
I mean, we were talking, obviously, Terrence Malick, J.J. Abrams, Steven Soderbergh, you know, all of these directors.
American Spider-Man.
Who are all, you've got to obviously have a favourite.
Not with those badasses. I got a favorite group. How's that?
I mean, that's a huge group.
I'm very, very blessed.
A final question. You started your career on The Flash.
I didn't start it, but I did do one very, very early on in my career. I think I was 19.
And now the
Flash, not the Flash that's on right now.
1990. So my question is, are you going to be going back to that superhero and go a full circle?
You know, Clancy Brown did some Flashes, and we started talking. I guess there's somebody from the original Flash that's on the new Flash. So I was like, it would be fun for me to just bookend it. You know, if I wasn't busy, I'd love to do one or a little arc. I don't know, it'd just be fun. You know, there's certain gigs that you do in between, like the Terry Malick films and the Guillermo del Toro films, and Flash is definitely one that I would do for the fun, you know.
Fantastic, that's great.
Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
You guys are awesome.